All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the 147-pound division, where Jaron Ennis reveals that Terence Crawford fight was offered to him by BLK Prime, and details come out as to why that fell through, and should not be shocking at all, considering what took place with Adrian Broner. But let's get into that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to talk about two of the best fighters in the 147-pound division, Jaron Ennis and Terence Bud Crawford. Jaron Ennis is the IBF interim champion and the mandatory for Errol Spence Jr.'s belt, while belts, all of them, I suppose, but specifically the IBF, and Terence Crawford is the WBO champion at the weight class. And seems like there had been some inroads to making a fight between the two. However, fell apart, but in the conversation, some very, very interesting things came out. I'm telling you, man, sometimes you only get one bite at the apple. Now, before I get into that, though, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, please accept my invitation to subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. Also, if you are a longtime subscriber and supporter of the channel, want to say thank you so much for your continued support. Really, really does mean a lot. Greatly, greatly appreciate it. And thank you to everybody that supports in the live streams that we do pretty much every day of the week, even though I took a day off yesterday. And in the super thanks of videos like this, Barbara D, Mr. Pragmatic, Matty Yole, thank you guys so much. Of course, John Bowie, thank you guys so much for continuing to be sponsors of the channel. But let's get into this, okay? Man, it just don't seem like BLK Prime can get what they want to get done, but hey, man, got to give him an A for effort for this one. Bozy Ennis, who is the trainer of his son, Jaron Ennis, was in a recent interview and made a statement that he had been approached by BLK Prime about a fight with Terence Bud Crawford. He had been approached for a fight, about making a fight with Terence Bud Crawford. My understanding is on BLK Prime, because why would BLK Prime approach him about making a fight on another network? Have no idea. And this is the facts as I know them. Once again, not being a journalist here, just telling you what is out there in the streets, what has been reported on other channels, what is being said, as far as what is being made publicly known. Also had a conversation with a couple other people, gave me a little bit of insight in it, but let's get to it. So BLK Prime does not have Terence Crawford signed to them. And my understanding was that this is about a month ago, that people who are representing BLK Prime approached Bozy Ennis and said, we want to make a fight with Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford says that he would be open to fight Jaron Ennis because Jaron Ennis, he would fight him because Jaron has never been in a ring with anybody like Terence Crawford. So Terence Crawford would be more than happy to make that fight. According to Bozy Ennis, Bozy said that Terence Crawford also said he would fight him if Jaron Ennis started calling him out of his name, started calling him a B, started calling him a this, that, and the other thing. And then if Jaron Ennis wanted to do that, then Terence Crawford would be open to taking the challenge. Bozy Ennis, for his part, said, look, that to me makes it sound like you don't want to fight us, because that's not how we talk. We're not about to get out there and start calling you this, that, and the other thing in the media and doing all of that stuff. There was also, according to another channel who was involved in the conversation, a meeting that took place between Bozy Ennis, BLK Prime, and Showtime, Steven Espinosa, and that resulted in the fight not happening. On Twitter, there was another person who was involved in the conversation that said Both fighters wanted the fight. Terence Crawford wanted to fight. Jaron Ennis wanted to fight. But the big guys did not want the fight. So who are the big guys? Obviously, the big guys would be Showtime. And but the big time, now different than other scenarios, one of the big guys that are not involved in this is clearly Al Heyman. So Al Heyman is not because a lot of people say that Boots is with the PBC. Boots is not with the PBC. Pete's, as far as I know, Boots is with his promoter is Cameron Duncan, from what I understand. And Cameron Duncan and the network that he works with is Showtime. Now, in the middle of this, Bozy Ennis also said that they were not signed to Showtime. However, that does not mean that they do not have a relationship with a formal relationship with Showtime, because if Jaron Ennis is signed with Cameron Duncan, and Cameron Duncan has a deal with Showtime to air the fight, that will tell you that there is a relationship between them. Similarly, if you recall, Ryan Garcia said that he did not have a deal specifically with DAZN. However, Ryan Garcia has a deal with Golden Boy, who had an exclusive deal with DAZN when he said it. So just to clarify matters before people put it in the comment section, Jaron Ennis, even if Bozy Ennis says that he does not have anything on paper saying that he is stuck with Showtime, that does not mean, however, that he does not have a deal in place with Cameron Duncan, who has a deal in place with Showtime. But whatever the case is, the fight did not come to fruition because they were unable to make a deal. Now, here's my 2 cents on it, right? There are people that are saying that this means that Terence Crawford wanted to fight Jaron Ennis, so stop saying that Terence Crawford is ducking Jaron Ennis. First of all, I've never said that Terence Crawford was ducking Jaron Ennis. I said Terence Crawford ducked Errol Spence Jr. And there's nothing about this scenario here that is going to change my mind about a fight with Terence Crawford, not why he did not take that fight with Errol Spence. Also, though, you have to think about something. Why would Showtime not want this fight? Showtime is not about to secure a fight with a fighter that is on Showtime, if they have anything to say about it, because they are in business to put on boxing matches. They're not going to do 2 things. One, they're not going to take one of their young stars and go give them and then say, okay, we're going to send him over to BLK Prime to fight Terence Crawford. And why would that be? Because they're trying to make a fight, according to them, they're trying to make a fight between Terence Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. So if they're saying that they want to make that fight and they were serious about making Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, and I got another video coming up a little bit later today talking about what they said in that regard, why would they want to be involved with a fight between Jaron Ennis and Terence Crawford? From a business standpoint, they are not going to isolate themselves from Errol Spence Jr. That's simple. They're not going to say similarly, and this is what somebody else had said before, like when Terence Crawford brought up Jermell Charlo or a fight with Keith Thurman, that look, man, the PBC, nor is Showtime, who's partnered with the PBC, going to go out of their way to get somebody other than Errol Spence Jr. a fight with Terence Crawford. Now, here's something else that this thing kind of shows. I think it shows that BLK Prime was probably unable to get this done, or there's a piece of it about why they would not have been able to get this done, because my understanding is Terence Crawford was not in the conversation with Bozy Ennis and Showtime. And this is a conversation between BLK Prime and BLK Prime representatives that do not actually represent Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford is a promotional free agent, and by the way, had to be at this time, if this was a month ago, involved in negotiations with Oscar De La Hoya in order to get a multi-fight deal or with Rocha and Virgil Ortiz. Now, I'm not saying that Terence Crawford wants the multi-fight deal, because I don't know if that's the case or not. He may just go one fight. But there's all kind of things to this. It sounds like, this is a broker, somebody, BLK Prime and representatives of BLK Prime or business partners of BLK Prime trying to broker a deal between one free agent and another free agent. And also, and it wasn't, I don't think this should go unsaid. You have to wonder whether or not, because of what happened with Adrian Broner, whether or not somebody like Bozy Ennis is going to say, look, man, no, I'm going to stay loyal. We got to stay loyal to, first of all, Cameron Duncan, because Cameron Duncan, basically a year or two of Jaron Ennis's career was held up between some promotional battle going on between Cameron Duncan and a former promoter, a guy that was listed as promoter for Jaron Ennis. So you got that particular issue, but then you have to wonder, okay, well, do we break the relationship with Showtime to go to BLK Prime, considering what happened with Adrian Broner and Brian Norman, and the fact that Terence Crawford isn't even signed over there. So a whole lot of that stuff just seems like there's a lot of stuff in the works where somebody can point and say, well, it's just Showtime didn't want the fight. But why? And is it reasonable? And do you think they're really going to skip over Errol Spence Jr. for a Terence Crawford fight and send Jaron Ennis over there? Doesn't sound like the best proposition to me. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. You let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.